Please see the link in the description to download a worksheet for this video. One of the rules for playing soccer is to keep the ball inside the edge of the soccer field. A soccer field is surrounded by a white line that looks like a giant rectangle. Likewise, a giant rectangle surrounds this basketball court and defines the edge of the court. The players have to keep the ball inside this area. Here are some tennis courts which also have a line that defines their boundaries. In math, we call the distance of this boundary the court or field's perimeter. We can calculate this distance by adding up the distance of this side to the distance of this side, to the distance of this side, and to the distance of this side. For a tennis court, this value is 228 feet. In this video, we'll learn what a perimeter is, how to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle, how to calculate the perimeter of a triangle, and how to calculate the perimeter of a shape that doesn't have a name. Let's start by talking about what a perimeter is. In math, a perimeter is the distance that surrounds a shape. This castle's property is surrounded by a stone wall. The total length of the wall is about 200 yards, so the perimeter of the castle's property is 200 yards. A perimeter can be any shape, so long as it's closed. For example, here's a baseball field. The perimeter of the field has straight lines on its left and right sides, and a curved line along the outfield. If we just highlight this left foul line, we could say it's part of the perimeter, but it's not the whole perimeter. Many times, we see the perimeter as a wall or a fence or a row of trees that surround an area, like the perimeters for these fields. But sometimes, there's no object that makes up the perimeter. For example, we can tell the difference between these fields due to their colors. The distance around each field is its perimeter, and we could calculate the perimeter for each field, even though none of these fields has a fence, wall, or trees that separate them from other fields. Next, let's learn how to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle. A typical state exam question will describe an object like a rectangular field and tell you its size. Then the question will ask you what the total length of the fence is that surrounds that object. This is another way of asking you to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle. Here's a big soccer field. Its perimeter is in the shape of a rectangle. To calculate the perimeter, we need to add up the length of each side. This side is 100 yards long. This side is 50 yards long. This side is 100 yards long. And this side is 50 yards long. When we add them all up, we get a total of 300 yards. So the perimeter of this soccer field is 300 yards. Some of these soccer fields are bigger than others, but all are rectangles. Please note an important fact about any given rectangle. The short sides are the same length as each other, and the long sides are the same length as each other. This is an important fact about rectangles that will help us solve state exam problems. The length of this side is 50 yards. The length of this side is 25 yards. What's the perimeter of this soccer field? The key to figuring this out is to remember that for a rectangle, the long sides are both the same length as each other, and the short sides are the same length as each other. That means both of the long sides are 50 yards, and it means that both of the short sides are 25 yards. Now we can add up all the sides and we get 50 plus 50 plus 25 plus 25, which equals 150 yards. Next, let's learn how to calculate the perimeter of a triangle. Here's a cookie in the shape of a triangle. This side is 4 inches long. This side is 4 inches long. And this side is 2 inches long. What's the triangle's perimeter? Just as we did with the rectangle, we add up the length of each side. In this case, that's 4 inches, plus 4 inches, plus 2 inches, which equals 10 inches. The perimeter is 10 inches. Here's an equilateral triangle. One side is 10 feet. What is the perimeter of this triangle? An equilateral triangle is made of 3 sides that are all equal to each other. It's like this plastic frame surrounding these balls. In this example, that means that each of these sides is 10. To calculate the triangle's perimeter, we add up all the sides. That's 10 plus 10 plus 10, which equals 30. This triangle's perimeter is 30 feet. Our final topic is to talk about how to calculate the perimeter of shapes that don't have specific names. This pool's perimeter is not a rectangle. That's because this end has a curve instead of a straight line. We don't have a specific name for the pool's shape. So, we don't have a formula that lets us calculate the pool's perimeter. When we're given a shape that doesn't have a specific name, we can still calculate its perimeter by adding up the distance around it. For example, this garden is made up of several sections. In this example, we've labeled each side of this garden with its length in feet. We can add up all of these sides to calculate the perimeter. The perimeter for this garden is 92 feet. Thanks for your attention.